So now I want to know why Perrin keep talking about, oh, don't call me that, don't call me Lord of the Two Rivers, when he ate that. Like, you just ate that completely. You this victory? Of course they're gonna be like, Lord Perrin, girl. All right, so we don't waste no time around here. So we open up with the two rivers getting ready for the Trollocs to come, getting ready for battle. And so the bells start ringing, right? And they're like, oh gosh, the Trollocs are here, the Trollocs are coming. And honestly, when we see who's coming, I might have preferred the Trollocs. I might have preferred the Trollocs. Perrin sees that it's just the Tuathan, and he says, open the gates, open the gates. Girl, let me tell you something. If we had 5 of the Tuathan come in, then I'll be like, okay, that's fine. But we had the whole community. We had everybody. Wagons were still coming into the two rivers for this entire scene, girl. Everybody came. So many of y'all want refuge. At least one of y'all gonna pick up a weapon. I don't care what y'all talking about. I don't care what your religion is. Pick up this weapon or get out. Like, that's just it, girl. Because if I was Perrin, right, and the people from the two rivers came up to me like, bro, we already on thin ice, and you got all these people who won't even fight coming into the camps. Bro, what's going on? I would not know what to tell them, girl. I would not know what to tell them. So we see Aram and them again. And so, Miss Mama's here. Oh my gosh. She already looking at Perrin's axe with them judgmental eyes. The same axe that her entire community ran to for protection, girl. So Aram says, like, girl, the Trollocs really slayed us. Like, they got us bad. Not just us, but, like, there are other people from all around, refugees all over. So, like I said, with that being said, y'all definitely gonna have to pick up a weapon or something, girl. I don't care. And look at her already asking for water. Like, yeah, y'all gonna have to do something, girl. Y'all gonna have to do, I don't care what you cook and clean, something, girl. You gonna have to do something. Y'all laying around here just waiting to die. Girl asking for water as soon as she stepped foot in the two rivers. Girl, get out of my face! I'm really dragging her today. I'm on her today because Egwene's mama gonna come out here and serve her food, right? And she already looking at it in disgust because, like, she don't eat meat. And I am kind of the same way. Like, I am mostly just a pescatarian. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, if the world was ending and Trollocs were coming and someone went out of their way to pick out the meat out of my food, girl, I'm gonna eat it. I'm so sorry. And on top of that, y'all ain't fighting? Girl, if you don't put that food in your mouth, if you... Oh my God, y'all need to tighten up. And then looking at Aram as if he's a bad person for wanting to eat. Boy, I promise you. That's why the Aiel was dragging y'all all. The Aiel was dragging them all episode, bro. All episode. Aram was dragging her too, like, well, cause she was like, oh, Perrin, I wished I could see you on the road again. I really missed you. And Aram was like, girl, well, if he did, we'd likely be dead. He'd likely be dead, like grandfather is. And so it's just... They dragging him. I'm dragging her. He dragging her. You see what I'm saying? Loyal didn't like it, but these Aiel were calling the Tuatha cowards and spitting. And I was just like, are they wrong, girl? And then it'll be one thing if you just stayed there and just stood your ground and died. But y'all come into our camp because y'all know we fight. That's a mess. If you don't like violence, you need to stay away from everybody who do it, period. Y'all could just die off, bro. Maxim is trying to train these people with spears. I'm just like, boy, you should know the two rivers ain't messing around with no spears. Like, they know Aiel like that. And so they're just like, boy, if you don't give us some long bows and be done with it. Alana's training with Matt's sisters, which I thought was so cool. Talking about this rosebud, girl, we might need a different lesson plan. Alana, you still talking about this rosebud? We might need a different lesson plan. They ask when they can start throwing fireballs, and I'm just like, girl, don't worry. Don't worry, y'all will have your chance to throw a couple by the end of the episode. All right, but she tells them, don't worry, y'all will just connect to me, y'all link with me, and I'll draw on you guys' power to help with the battle. So Alana acknowledges that the new wisdom is just powerful. She's like, you can see my weaves and stuff, like, so you don't want to train with us? And she was like, girl, if I got to put down my Bud Light, if I have to put down my Tito's vodka, I'm not doing it. So Maxim is just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose. We're all gonna die here. I thought that moment was funny. So the people hang a wolf banner, right? And Perrin, humble self, this was also in the books too, which was fun. Perrin's humble self is against it at first, but Fail is just like, oh, it's don't worry. I just told them to put it up, and Trollocs are scared of wolves. That's what I told them. I'm just like, girl, Fail, you just trying to make your man the president of the Two Rivers, as you should. She was like, the Two Rivers follow you because they want to, and you're one of them. If you can fight monsters, then so can they. She was just like, yeah, there's technically, quote unquote, better people to follow, like Alana's a battle Aja, you know what I mean? But the people want to follow you, so, she's like, why not? Hang that banner up. My man. So I love how when they went to go meet Dane, or whatever his name is, Fail was like, what if he killed him right there? I loved it. So Perrin and him talk. Perrin asked the White Cloaks to join them against the Trollocs tonight. And, he says, I'm not a dark friend. I'm sorry for murdering your father. He died for my grief like Matrim's mom died for yours. And Perrin clocked Dane like, girl, if you let the Two Rivers get destroyed, it's not justice. It's a betrayal of everything you claim to stand for, what your father stood for. Matt's mom was not a witch, and he was like, well, yes, she was. He's like, bro, no. In the end, Perrin says, look, after this battle, if you help us, I will go with you. I will face the light's justice when the battle is done. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, there's no way I'm going with the KKK. Like, y'all gonna have to kill me, bro. Like, y'all gonna have to kill me in battle. There's no way I'm going. I ain't going. But Dane says, I'm not trusting this empty promise. When the Trollocs are done with you, we'll come to finish it off. And honestly, if I was him, I would be like, yeah, like, why would I trust that Perrin would give himself up? But don't worry, Perrin is, they call it honorable, but I'm just like, stupid. Love you, Perrin. But like, Perrin is silly enough to go with you, with y'all. Like, for real. So this scene was cute. Loyal tells them King Althorin of Manetheren died fighting the Trollocs right here. And so, obviously, this comes into play later on, but Loyal asked them to play Maiden's Kiss. This moment with Maxim and Alana was fun, of course. Offering Alana turnips instead of figs, but then eating the fig, and she could feel him enjoying it through the bond, right? But they end up getting frisky. This scene is just to show us that they're trying to build something else, something new without Ivan or whatever. In the books, Perrin really battles between the axe or the hammer. Which one should I use? And I always thought it was funny in the books because I'm like, girl, it don't matter if I'm getting hit with a big axe or a big hammer. I still might die. But I guess like it's supposed to represent like the axe supposed to represent like the violence, and maybe hammer's more like, all right, defense and not that violent. But I'm just like, girl, a big axe and a big hammer going to my head, bro. I mean, I'm still going to die. But that's kind of the thing that he's battling with. So Fail here just clocks Perrin a little bit. She understands that he is scared to lose her, especially losing her in the same way that he lost his first wife, something crazy. But she was like, your wife chose to fight, just like I chose to fight, and you're going to have to respect that. She said, we deserve respect before battle and honor after it. I loved when Fail was like, okay, if you want me to move, then make me. I want to see you try. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So Loyal asked to play Maiden's Kiss, like I said, to try, and in the end, we find out it's like to try and relieve them of their toast so they can like go, like to protect them from the battle and leave, so they could leave. But then they turned it back around on him so that they could stay. I thought that was funny. At first I was like, does Loyal actually just want to die right now? Like, what's going on? But no, he wanted that for them to refuse, save his life, and then use that as a way to be like, okay, well, you're free of your toe. But they turned it back around on him. Matt's sisters ask Perrin why Matt didn't come home, like what's going on. And it's like, I'm so sorry, y'all. Matt is currently flirting with some hot men in Tanchico. Perrin shows them that drawing of Matt blowing the horn, and they are not impressed. They are not impressed. They said, Matt the bladder blower. I cackled so hard when they said that. Goodness. So based on what Perrin sees on the mountain pass, there are way more Trollocs than expected, right? So he says there are clearly dark friends with them and asks everybody if they should change plans. We got to revise stuff. They solidify what they're about to do. And then here she go. I'ma always have smoke for her. Always. Because she says, I don't know why you called us here. We won't pick up weapons. And in my head, if I was a parent, I would be like, yo, well, pick up a toilet brush or a vacuum, girl. Y'all gonna pick up whatever I tell you to pick up. What you talking about? Oh, yeah, I don't know why you brought us here. Apocalyptic battles coming. We won't even fire a BB gun. Get out of my face. Now, parent says, if we fall, y'all can take the children and run since y'all are fast runners. And the IE'll do this shady cough that was so hilarious after that. They're like, girl, you think they fast? You think they fast? Okay. And that could have been like a double shade where it's like, not only like, girl, we're the fast runners, but all y'all do is run is probably what they could be coughing about, laughing about too. Oh, I thought it was so funny. And so I don't know if I'd want to leave the vulnerable population of kids with the Tuatha who won't fight, but okay, girl, I guess it ain't no other choice. I guess it ain't no other choice. Sis said, there is no leaf without the seed. And I was like, oh, great. So not only do we have to give our kids to y'all and y'all won't fight while the Troggs are coming after y'all, but y'all gonna try and brainwash them too. The kids fighting for their lives, panting, running, and you gonna say, oh, guess what? Don't use violence. You gonna try to brainwash them too? I would be like, no, that's you crossing the line right there, girl. Are you serious? No. And by the way, this is the face of someone that's about to be forced out the Tuatha way of the leaf closet. You hear what I'm saying? He looks so miserable having to deal with these non-violent people. He looks so miserable. So Loyal comes up and it's just like, guess what? All your plans sound really cute, but I have to permanently crush the Waygate if we don't want them to send reinforcements. And parents talk about, oh, I'll come with you. Boy, please. Are you serious? And are you serious? We ready to fight everybody gathering around. Loyal decides to take the Aiel. Perrin tells him to finish his book and go back to the steading so he don't pass out. Was it last episode for that? Loyal was about to pass out. He's lightheaded. Girl, if you don't go back to the steading and at least recharge and regroup, girl, that's what Perrin was like. You ain't finna fall out, when you need to just go back to the steading and get your life. I should have known by how emotional and sweet this goodbye was that Loyal was out of here. My name sings in your ear. So sad, but he went out with a bang. We're gonna get to that later. I love this moment because Perrin rolls up like he's gonna give a speech or something, but ends up singing the Manetheren song, and he started it off a cappella too. I was like, wait a minute, without anybody else help. Wait a minute. I guess the whole thing a cappella, but you know what I mean. I was like, okay, this solo, I should have said. So I loved seeing. Okay, wait. So the battle starts, right? And so the archers are really doing a good job. They're doing a good job. Like, and even Maxim was like, okay, 2 rivers longbows indeed. Like, they really ate that. And of course, the whole episode, we're going to be moving around to different scenes, right? Loyal and the Aiel girlies are scoping out the Waygate to gain control of it. Loved seeing Loyal work it with his hammer. Like, he's like, okay, I write books. I do like to proofread, but don't get it twisted, girly. I'm going to whip out the hammer on ya. So the enemy army is coming closer, but the longbows are still doing their thing for a while. Then they're like, all right, it's getting too hot, right? So Perrin then tells Maxim, all right, do what you got to do. It's time now. So through his bond, he lets Alana know, like, girl, you got to start the channeling. So we go to the girls. Linking, girl, she said, link with me. And they do. And Alana is using all their combined power to do this really beautiful channeling, this beautiful weave, carving the sky open, clouds are swirling, and the show, of course, makes you think it's going to be lightning coming down because they've been talking about it for a while in this episode. But hail, like sharp hail, comes down, and it's just so cool. Alana's like bringing it, she bringing that thing down. Don't play with Alana, y'all. Don't play with Alana, and I love that because lightning, of course, can be really dangerous, especially if you got allies really close by. That's why I was like, y'all need to move back. When I saw the clouds swirling, I was like, y'all looking up, like the allies. I was like, y'all looking up, bro. Y'all need to look back. Lightning coming down, but it was hail. I loved it. All right, so after the hail, the army retreats, and Maxim is like, she's gonna be insufferable after this. I would too, girl. I brought down some hail for y'all. But of course, I was like, girl, we're only halfway through the episode. You talking about this army retreated? They're coming back. I was like, they're coming back. I loved seeing the wisdom put her flask down after that channeling moment because, like, girl, what feels better than the one power? Absolutely nothing. You could put that flask down, put that liquor down, and let's get to work, right? Alana said the Trollocs made a tactical retreat, but and parents like, okay, well, girl, they are acting way too organized right now, especially like you could see how differently they're moving. When you compare it to season 1, episode 1, when Moiraine was bringing down the lightning and the Trollocs were just rah, 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 eat, beat people up, stab. They weren't like, you know what I mean? They weren't actually organized and tactically retreating and, you know, doing what comes next. Actually, like they sent this big arrow. If I was Alana, I would have been like, y'all gonna use a regular arrow, girl? My goodness. Big arrow go right through Alana's chest, bro. And so clearly the Trollocs, everybody, they are acting with like more strategy, more IQ points than PERRIN is expecting, because after they take down Alana, of course they're coming back. Maxim could feel it happening at the same time. And I love to see the new wisdom throwing up this shield here, even though obviously she could barely keep it up. She don't know really how to channel like that, but she tried, you know, even though she fell. I loved seeing that. So yeah, the enemy took out the Aes Sedai, took out Alana, and they started to run back in, right? The villagers almost lose their morale because of that. Like, the Aes Sedai gone, we don't got the numbers, but Maxim empowers them to fight. What wins battles, he says, is being too dumb to know when you're beaten. It's like, all right, girl, y'all better let this Bush Queen empower y'all and encourage y'all. Y'all let this Bush Queen, yes! So Loyal and his Aiel defeat the enemies at the Waygate, and Loyal takes out his Avendasora leave, because the Aiel said it, and says that he has to close the gate permanently, but from the inside. And so, like, he asks them to watch his back while he does so. The girls are trying to channel to heal Alana, but nothing is happening. And it makes sense because, like, Alana was like, girl, it's okay. Y'all did a lot. Y'all done channeled a whole lot. You're in a situation that's extremely stressful. You're it's not like you done been to the White Tower and know how to do this stuff, right? So under duress, Alana completely understands, like, it's okay, girl. Like, but if I was Alana, I'd be like, oh my gosh, please, I hope y'all can get it at least before I bleed out, girl, you know? So the White Cloaks arrive. Let me tell you something about this scene. When the White Cloaks arrived, waving a flag of peace, I was like, what does peace even look like to a White Cloak, girl? Do not open those gates. I was watching this show, bro. I was like, do not open those gates. What are you talking about, bro? Yo, but PERRIN did. And literally the first face he sees is Chavalda, bro. I would have jumped, bro. What you mean? And he on his horse looking down at PERRIN. Girl, you gonna have to, I'll be like, come down. What did Natalie Nunn say? I'm gonna take my chains off. That's how I feel when the Aiel put on their mask. It's okay, let me take my chains off. I'm gonna take my chains off. Like, I would have jumped. You hear me? Dane said, I came because it's the right thing to do. Bro, like, you gonna have, girl, get out of my face, Dane. And I'm gonna say this real quick. I do feel like there's some kind of tension. Like, honestly, in another life, PERRIN and Dane would have been besties. There's some type of, like, there's a tension going on. Fael, you better watch him. You better watch Fael, you better watch him. All right? So, let me tell you, the White Cloaks start slaughtering them folks, bro. You hear me? You hear me? And it's because of Panafane, who is a dark friend. Dane said he didn't know that, but PERRIN's like, you definitely should have, and I agree with PERRIN. But at the same time, PERRIN, why did you open up them gates, bro? I'd have been like, all right, you want to defend the two rivers, do it from outside the perimeter, and y'all can be the first line of defense against the Trollocs. Girl, you are not coming in here, girl. Are you serious? So now, we got White Cloaks who want to kill us. We got White Cloaks who want to help us. We got Dark Friends and Trollocs. Girl, this is a mess. This is a mess. I love seeing the women's circle protect the children and the Tuatha retreat. I think it's so funny because, like, y'all gave him a baby and expected him to not fight. Like, that is so, he running around here with a baby. Y'all gave him a baby to like, what do you mean, bro? So here Loyal is trying to, oh my God, I love this scene. So here Loyal is, right, trying to destroy the Waygate as the army of Trollocs approach. Nothing's really working. Oh, wait, that's not the scene I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I love the Loyal scene when he sacrifices himself. Oh my gosh. So the enemy comes back to the Waygate where our girlies are at to try and get the reinforcements. But our girls put in work. You know what I'm saying? They put on their veils and they got to work. Yeah. So here the Tuath, like I said, are trying to escape, but Trollocs are on them. Aram got this baby, like I said. They getting picked off. They're getting picked off. And that's the time when the baby picks to start crying because, like, of course, like, it's a baby. Like, it's a baby. So a Trolloc comes after him and he kills it. Like, duh. Like, duh. What's her face watching like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you did that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe, is this who you are? It's like when I was younger, right? And my mama found my search history on my computer. Are you gay? Are you gay? Did you just use violence? Are you gay? He came out, girl. He's coming. Aram's coming out. He wants the world to know that he will slice you hoes. Come in. He is slashing out. He got that spear in hand. He's going to drag you, man. Yeah, girl. Aram officially came out. And do you know, let me tell you something. If I was Aram, I would have told her, I would have told her to come here. Since she got a problem with it, I would say, listen to me. If you were the one who had a baby and you just laid there, you know what I mean, and got killed by a Trolloc, I would have looked at you in such disgust while you was bleeding out. I would have told her that and then be like, peace out. I defended it. Not only did I defend myself, but I defended this newborn baby that I was literally running away from war with. Get out of my face. So PERRIN sees the state of the battle and has a little moment, right? And he says, everyone is going to die tonight because of me. What did I do? Da, da, da. And it's like, honestly, PERRIN, no. Like, a select few people are going to live tonight because you motivated them to fight, which is what Fael is saying. If nobody fought, everybody would be dead because the Trollocs were coming whether or not you led them into battle. You see what I'm saying? She says, now go out there and show them what the real tea is, honey. She didn't say that exactly. I'm doing a little gay paraphrasing, but she said, go out there and show them what the tea really is, girl. And of course, PERRIN had his like Darth Vader cutting people down in the hallway moment, you know what I mean? And I absolutely loved it. Battle raging, cinematography amazing, choreography amazing. Y'all ate that. Fael, of course, behind him doing her thing. I love how Fael said, stop trying to protect me when PERRIN told her to get behind him. But he was like, no. The reason I want you to get behind me is just you get the Trollocs that I miss. But honestly, that's still his way of protecting her, like trying to protect her. Everyone's fighting, pushing them back. Fael says, I like your women's circles. Me too, girl. Me too. Oh, this moment gave me such joy. Put so much euphoria in my heart. So Child Valda's looking around the camp for some people to torture. He's just rabid, just with his mouth hanging open, just foaming at the mouth. You see what I'm saying? And he finds Alana. And so he tells the children to move, da-da-da-da. But the sisters join together and literally, first of all, channeling looks so amazing. Burn Valda alive. For mother, they said, and burn him alive. They talk about, oh, when can we throw fireballs? Now is when you can. Oh, even Alana was giggling. I mean, while she was impaled. That's how much we hate Child Valda, girl. Oh, I'm so happy to see him burn. It should have gone on for a little longer. But I definitely am glad that y'all got him out of here. So Padan Fain kills someone in front of PERRIN, right? And he throws a hammer at his head and somehow Padan still survives, but okay. And instead of killing him, like Fael says, like, just kill him. PERRIN asks him why he's doing this, and he says the Great Lord wants the two rivers wiped off the map to prove a point to the Dragon Reborn. And honestly, it's a great time to do that while Rand is in the waste, you know, distracted in the waste. We switch again to Loyal, which this is the scene. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. But while he was banging his hammer on this waygate, I was just like, boy, you need to do that singing, bro. Like, you need to do that, use your powers, do it. You're a builder, bro. Like, you need to do that. And so he does. And it's the Manetheren song. And I'm like, yeah, he going. Because he's singing and stuff. He making his last stand looking like he Jon Snow in front of this entire army. I was like, yeah, he out of here, bro. I was like, oh my gosh, not Loyal. Are you serious? Not Loyal. So he's finally able to destroy the Waygate, taking himself along with it. So honestly, if we don't see a body, he might not be there for real. And you know, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. PERRIN and Padan both feel and see the destruction of the Waygate, and PERRIN tells him, you know, that he smells afraid, girl, and forces him to call off his army in exchange for his keeping his life. And Padan uses the Trolloc tongue to do it, which I thought was fun. But I'm like, girl, you should have sliced him up after he called them off. So later on, we see Alana is healed, and she tells the girls that we are not going back to the White Tower. The pattern has different plans for us. So Egwene's mom asks Arm to be a blacksmith there. What's her face not talking to him? Girl, you might as well. You might as well. Let her just fade off into obscurity, and you continue moving forward. You protected a child, girl. There's nothing wrong with that. We have a cute send-off for Loyal. They're reading his book. He knew he wasn't coming back, is what Fayul says. Life is a dream. They always say this. I love this. Life is a dream from which we all must wake. That's Aiel stuff. Before we can dream again. Then Perrin girl. Perrin gonna give himself over to the White Cloaks, bro. Of course, Fayul is like, what? Like, bro, you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. Fayul was like, of course you call yourself children. It seems like y'all can't count because, girl, we about to activate right now. But Perrin stops them, right? And asks if Fayul can respect his decision. I would have said, absolutely not. I would have said, no, I can't actually. And what are you going to do about it? Girl, Dane and his men would have died right there. I promise you that. I don't care about honorable. I don't care about honor. I don't care about going back on your word. It's the White Cloaks. I don't care. I don't care. I understand that Perrin is like, girl, I'm trying to prevent more fighting. If more White Cloaks come, we're finished. I get that. But at the same time, I'm not handing myself over to be possibly tortured. Y'all gonna have to fight me. Y'all gonna have to kill me. For real. For real. Like, it's positioned as a way to stop the fighting. And I understand it. Like, that makes sense. But as for me, like, it would have been snipers. It would have been archers. It would have been done, bro. It would have been done. It would have been done. And they would just have to see me about it if they mad. But like at the same time, we might have to run after we do that stuff. Like if we end the Dane and the White Cloaks here. But yeah, this episode was so much fun. That battle was so much fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're spending the entire episode in the Two Rivers, but it felt like it just kept me on my toes. You see what I'm saying? I think that they have really outdone themselves with season 3. I can't wait for the finale. How is Perrin gonna get out of that stuff? Y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all so much. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the waitlist there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book. So you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, the sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zeraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zeraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.